voicing using the major triad. There are many ways to voice our left hand. You can voice your left hand with a dominant chord, with a diatone, with a tritone, with a suspended. But at this moment, we want to look at how to voice our left hand using a major triad. Remember in the last lesson when we did inversion. Inversion means to rearrange. So if you have 1 3 5, you take the 1 to the top and you have the 3 5 1. Same thing, then you have the 5 3 1, which is the roots, first inversion and the second inversion. This time around, we want to create left hand voicing for major. Remember, your major is always your 1 4 and the 5. One thing you have to understand with left hand voicing is, if you're using a major triad to voice your left hand, it will always go with any major chord on your right hand. But we're not dealing with the right hand right now. We are dealing with the left hand. So the first way to voice your left hand is to use the root position using the 1 3 5. Then the next is to use the first inversion, which is a 3 5 1. Then use the second inversion. One of the ways you can actually utilize it is, since you have 1 4 5 as your major, maybe when you're on the 1, you use the root position. Then when you're going to the 4, you use the second inversion or the third inversion, depending. So if you use your root position, you can use the second inversion going to the 4. And you can also use the second inversion going to the 5. So instead of just using a root position to the 1, root position to the 4, you can scatter this. So you have your root position on the 1, second inversion for the 4, then second inversion for the 5. You have to understand that. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at, apart from the roots, first inversion and second inversion, we'll be looking at 10 other patterns you can use to voice your left hand. Some requires you stretching your hands. So number 1 concept is using the 5th chord, using the 1 and the 5. It gives it a cool, a very cool sound, no tension. Another way you can do that is you repeat the note. So you have the 1, the 5, then you can repeat the 1 at the top. So you have the 1 5 and the 1. So let's use the 1 and the 5. They can also add the 1 at the top. But in most cases, it sounds better when you have the 1 and the 5. It reduces the tension. Now, the next concept is to use the 5 and the 1. Remember, like I said, when you are practicing, try to scatter these things, like these concepts on the 1. When I'm going to the 4, I try not to use the root position. I try to use another concept. Okay, so the 1 and the 5. Now we use the 5 and the 1. And you can use it on every major. The 1, 4, and the 5. The next concept we are going to use now is the diatone, 1 and the 3. Just a simple 2-finger chord on the left hand. And this sounds very fantastic when you try it. So look at what we're doing now. We are busy writing on paper creating voicing patterns without actually being on the instruments. That is the beauty of writing and playing. So let me sound a note of warning. There are times that you might finish writing, then when you get to the instrument, you have to listen to the sound. You have to understand the song you're playing to. So some might need a little adjustment, okay? But with numbers, you can never go wrong. So now the next concept is the diaton, the 1 and the 3. Then you also invert that, then that's the 3 and the 1. Then we have the 3 and the 5, the 5 and the 3. Then you have this, you have to stretch 1, 5 and the 3. Then the next one you have to stretch is the 3, 1, 5. Then the next one 3, 1, 3. The 1, 3, 3. You also have to stretch very well for that. 1, 3, 3. You can practice this on every single key. So what I would advise is practice these concepts on one key, take it half step up to the next key, take it half step up to the next key till you're able to master all these patterns. This will really give you a whole lot of tools. Like when you're playing song, maybe when you start a song, you can actually start with the 1, 5 and the 1. Going to your 4, you can decide to play the 1 and the 3, or the 5 and the 1, or the 3 and the 5, the 5. You have a whole lot of tool in your hand. That is what we call vocab, voicing. So you are not just limited to first inversion, second inversion. You have a whole lot to play with. Thank you very much. Please feel free to comment below, like, share and subscribe.